ADHD as a spectrum of traits and strengths. So like many neurodevelopmental conditions, ADHD exists on a spectrum. So as I mentioned in earlier videos, ADHD includes a wide range of symptoms, but not every person with ADHD will experience them all. Even with the same symptom, the intensity and impact can vary from person to person. So some symptoms can present major challenges, while others can become genuine strengths. I tend to avoid calling them superpowers because what's a strength in one situation or for one individual might be a challenge in another. So context matters. Key strengths of ADHDers. So problem solvers, divergent versus convergent thinkers. So one of the most common cognitive strengths among people with ADHD is divergent thinking. While a racing mind, frequent daydreaming, and getting sidetracked can make it hard to focus in a traditional lecture, these same traits contribute to powerful, creative problem solving. So here's the difference. Convergent thinkers, they analyze facts, follow logical steps. They aim for the single best solution. They excel at tasks that are structured, rule-bound, and measured by accuracy and speed, like standardized tests or multiple choice questions. This style aligns well with how many school systems assess knowledge. Divergent thinkers, often including ADHDers, take a more creative route. They generate multiple ideas from one prompt, use inductive reasoning, and approach problems from unexpected angles. Instead of following established procedures, they invent their own. Their thinking is nonlinear, spontaneous, and imaginative. So in collaborative or open-ended settings, divergent thinkers thrive. They're the brainstormers, the troubleshooters, the ones who bring fresh perspectives to the table. Their ability to generate unique solutions makes them invaluable in creative and team-based environments. So in short, the same traits that make traditional school settings harder for ADHDers, like fast-paced thinking or a tendency to wander, can also make them incredible innovative thinkers and contributors. So the next strength, calm in a crisis. So an ADHD advantage. ADHD brains naturally produce more theta waves, which are associated with a relaxed daydreaming state. So when a crisis hits, instead of panicking, many ADHDers actually shift into focus. Their brain activity moves closer to what's typical for others, bringing clarity, not chaos. This helps explain why people with ADHD often excel in high-pressure roles like emergency responders, trauma nurses, police officers, or athletes. While sitting still through a long lecture may be a challenge, that same restless brain becomes an asset in fast-paced, unpredictable situations. Impulsivity plays a role here too. So the same trait that leads to blurting out in class can translate to lightning-fast reaction times, jumping into action when every second counts. So in sports, this quick responsiveness can mean better performance under pressure and sharper instincts. In short, the traits that challenge ADHDers in calm, structured settings are often the very ones that help them thrive when it matters most. The next trait, intuitive awareness, turning sensory overload into insight. So while sensory overload can be overwhelming, it also fuels one of ADHD's greatest strengths, intuition. So most brains filter incoming sensory information down to about 40 bits per second, ignoring what seems irrelevant. But ADHD brains don't filter in the same way. They take in everything, sounds, movement, shifts in tone, body language, background noise. We just talked about this when we were talking about inattentive ADHD. So this constant flow of unfiltered input can be distracting, but it also leads to heightened awareness and perceptiveness. So because of this, many ADHDers are naturally intuitive. They can pick up on subtle nonverbal and paraverbal cues, body language, tone, energy shifts, making them highly attuned to what others might miss. So this ability to read the room is a social superpower in both personal and professional settings. So the same hyper-awareness that can also be a major advantage in sports and fast-paced environments. So an ADHDer might sense an opponent coming up behind them on the soccer field or react quickly to a shift in gameplay, all because their brain is constantly scanning and processing details others filter out. So in short, what looks like distraction is often a different kind of attention, deep, instinctive, and powerfully intuitive. The next characteristic or trait that's a strength is keen sense of detail and observation. So because ADHD brains often struggle to filter and prioritize sensory input, they take in far more details than the average person. While this can feel overwhelming at times, it also leads to a powerful strength, heightened observation. ADHDers often notice things others overlook, so small shifts, hidden patterns, or subtle inconsistencies. This ability to spot details others miss helps them make unique connections and approach problems from unexpected angles. So in problem solving and creative thinking, this keen observational skill is a major asset. The next one is super starter, so turning impulsivity into action. This is where impulsivity and risk-taking become strengths. ADHDers don't get stuck in analysis paralysis or spending forever over-researching. They dive right in. They're action-oriented, flexible, and open to change. While others are still debating the plan, ADHDers are already making progress. Their mindset is, let's stop talking about it and do it. They're the ones who get the things started and keep momentum going. Dr. Ned Holloway famously said the ADHD brain is like a Ferrari engine with bicycle brakes. ADHD brains are wired for speed, constantly jumping between thoughts, which often results in lightning fast processing and rapid response times. What may look like distractibility or impulsivity can actually be an asset in high-pressure situations that require quick thinking. So this rapid mental pace can also fuel extended thinking. The most complex and creative level of understanding in Webb's depth of knowledge framework. ADHD minds don't just move fast, they think deep. And there's the quick thinkers. Keen memory, interest-driven retention. So the ADHD brain processes information at high speed and is constantly scanning for stimulation. When something captures their interest, ADHDers can just don't just engage, they absorb. Their brains light up, making learning faster and memory stronger. This means that when a topic is emotionally engaging or genuinely interesting, ADHDers often retain details with impressive accuracy. It's not a lack of memory, it's selective, passion-fueled recall. Imaginative and creative, turning daydreams into discovery. Logic will take you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere, Albert Einstein. So daydreaming is the mind's quiet preparation for a burst of creative energy. While ADHD is often seen as a barrier to focus, it's also a powerful engine for creativity. Daydreaming and bouncing between thoughts, traits commonly linked to ADHD, fuel a vivid information and original thinking. When we think of creativity, we often picture the arts or expressive creativity. And yes, many ADHDers are artistically gifted, their heightened senses allowing them to experience and express the world in unique ways. But there's another equally powerful form of creativity, adaptive or scientific creativity, also known as problem solving. So interestingly, both expressive and adaptive creativity follow a similar four-stage process. So there's preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. So ADHDers often thrive in the incubation phase. That's the mental wandering and reflection stage. So this is where being off task becomes an advantage, allowing ideas to simmer and take unexpected turns. That mental meandering can lead directly to illumination, the aha moment where breakthrough ideas emerge. In this way, what might seem like distraction is often creative preparation in disguise. Compassionate and accepting, strength through struggle. So generous, compassionate, empathetic. These are the three most common adjectives friends use to describe people with ADHD. It's estimated that by age 12, children with ADHD receive up to 20,000 more negative messages than their peers. That number may seem staggering, but when you factor in nonverbal cues like body language, paraverbal signals, tone of voice, and verbal corrections, it becomes easier to understand. So a single frustrated adult can unintentionally deliver multiple negative messages in just a 5-second exchange. This constant feedback, often about what they're doing wrong, shapes how ADHDers see themselves, but it also shapes how they relate to others. The result? Many become deeply compassionate and accepting, attuned to the struggles of others. They know what it feels like to be misunderstood or judged, and they carry that understanding into their relationships. There's also an emotional intensity that comes with ADHD, something often viewed as a challenge, but when that depth of feeling is channeled into empathy, it becomes a powerful strength. ADHDers often feel deeply, care deeply, and connect deeply. Their lived experiences helps them lead with heart.